Hello. There are several questions in the community when it comes to the law, especially with immigration matters. That is why I'm inviting you to join us on the program, The Community and the Law, live on BWTV and brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. We are going to have a very massive discussion on some of the issues of immigration matters that bother you. And they have the opportunity to meet you live on the program to explain to you all the updates that have come from the Home Office and also address your questions and concerns that you might have when it comes to the law. The Community and the Law is brought to you every Saturday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. We're live on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. At BWF Solicitors, at BWTV, and of course, we urge you to share the program and invite others to join us. Remember, it's at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday, live on BWTV. You have your questions. There are answers. So join us, learn, and empower yourself on the program, The Community and the Law. So pick up the phone and dial 0208-493-7345. Or you can send a text 07950-422-780. It's The Community and the Law. My name is Oreku Frimpong, and I am your host. Hello, lovely afternoon to you out there. My name is Oreku Frimpong, and I warmly welcome you to another edition of The Community and the Law, brought to you by BWF Solicitors. Now, I have my phone here. That's mine. Can I share the details with somebody else? Can I be forced to hand it over to the immigration workers to search and look for any information on me and about me? I find it difficult answering this question because it could be yes, it could be no. Yes, under what conditions? No, under what conditions? But tell you what, we're going to look at the legal side of this thing. And that's why I'm welcoming you and asking you to invite people to join us on The Community and the Law this afternoon, live on BWTV and at BWF Solicitors on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome, and let's get into it.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome, welcome, and welcome once again. This is the Community in the Law brought to you by BWF Solicitors. My name is Oriku Frimpong, and I have the honor and the privilege to be hosting this event between now and 6 o'clock here in the UK. I am going to ask a very interesting question, and I believe that you would have your answer, but it may be wrong. Can immigration people search my phone and bank accounts? What are my rights? Am I compelled to hand over such private material to them when it is that they come to my place of abode where I work or meet me on the street? What are my rights? I ask again. We are going to look at that on the side of the law, and we're privileged to have the senior partner of BWF Solicitors with us on the show tonight to help us unravel that and also maintain what it is our rights are. We'll be looking at what the law says. We'll be looking at what the immigration rules say and the guidances. And of course, you would make the decision for yourself. BWF Solicitors, we want to say thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to come the way of the community this afternoon. And I want to let people know that when it comes to legal matters, you can trust any other person or any other organization better than BWF Solicitors. They work from Monday to Friday between 9:30 in the morning and 6 p.m. in the evening. They are located on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218, Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters in North London. You can call them and book an appointment, go to see any of the lawyers, senior partner, or the other lawyers in there on 0208 493 7340. 0208 493 7340. Those of you in Ghana, there's an office for BWF Solicitors in Accra, and you can call them on 055 589 5959. 055 589 5959. And in all situations, you can send a text, WhatsApp message, or even call on this UK mobile number 077 127 61884. 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors are trusted partners when it comes to the law. And as I mentioned, if you are joining us, we live on Facebook and YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV. People have been using the services of BWF Solicitors, and I can say without any doubt that they have had almost 100% success. Yes, some situations you would have some difficulty and they'll advise you whether to pick up your case or not. They weigh the merits of it and tell you what your chances are. But 95 to 98% of the time, they are right. Joshua has experienced the service of BWF Solicitors, and he writes back to me to say, from being an overstayer to finally receiving a successful visa decision, my journey wasn't easy. A huge thank you to BWF Solicitors, especially lawyer Bernard Weissman and Helena Asma, for their professionalism, patience, and dedication. Trust the process, be patient, and let BWF Solicitors do what they do best. I am truly grateful and highly recommend them. Thank you, Joshua, for the feedback. I've always asked for this, and I'm happy that you've given me one. And on that note, I would want to do my usual welcome and welcome on board and on the program my resource person and guest this afternoon, none other than the senior partner, so to speak, of BWF Solicitors, lawyer Bernard Owusu. Uncle Ben, we all call him in the community. Uncle Ben, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Craig.
Thank you very much for joining us. I say that this month of August we've had you twice, so I am grateful that you have made time to meet the community. I can't say anything less than thank you.
I should be thanking you for spending your precious Saturdays with us and the Ghanaian community. As I always say, our line of work always requires that there are people who are ready, competent, experienced, knowledgeable to execute the instructions that our clients give. May I also take this opportunity to say good evening to our cherished listeners and also those who've joined us on the social media. So sometimes, I leave the hot seat for the people that have come through our office to also show their knowledge, because I don't want our community members to be saddled with listening to my poor voice
That's a very rich one. I don't think I agree with you.
every week. So when we have the opportunity, other people also come on board. Normally it will be Charles, but also with what we're doing, it's very likely that we want to see the ladies a bit more because they are younger and they are prettier. You don't want the Uncle Ben's face, boring face on your screen all the time. So yes, Kweku, I'm here. Next week, unfortunately, I won't be here. It might be Charles, it might be one of the ladies, but every week, 3 times a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we will meet our community at the point of their needs all the time.
For which we are super grateful, and I believe that the community will also reciprocate and patronize your service. Listen, BWF solicitors, they have the onerous duty of making sure that your legal matters are put in safe hands. And I'm coming, this one from Joshua has specifically mentioned you and Helena for the patience, for the professionalism and all that. Sometimes, let me put it bluntly, we are very annoying, but you have the patience to handle our cases. I won't ask you how you do it, but this is Joshua. He is grateful.
Yeah, so Joshua, in addition to what is posted, he actually posted a decision. So if you go to our Google review, which is where we take this from, this is not things that it's not made up stuff. We don't make things up. So when you go to the Google review, hopefully maybe we can share it. He's actually posted his decision. I don't know why he did that, but he has posted it there. Kweku, for me, what really matters is the service that we give our community members. And that's Joshua. Yeah, so that's a decision. If I don't know whether you can click on it, the decision itself. So yes, he's been granted permission until the 12th of February. This is 2.5. So when you calculate, it will be 12th of August. And his case, well, he's put his full name there, so I won't go into his case. But for me, what really matters and the work we do is to change lives, touch communities. Because you might be dealing with one person on your desk or in your office, but these people will normally have scores of people who are deriving their livelihood, their daily bread, their university fees, school fees, rent, basic human dignity from them. So when you mess up one person, you've messed up a community. And that's why I take my job seriously. And those who work with me, sometimes you can tell that I'm very impatient. And even with some of the clients, because sometimes when clients come to me and they've gone to mess up, I don't have the patience at all. And I show it to them as well. Because Kweku, once you've come to the UK, it means you've gone through what I term the storm and the fire. You've acquired a visa or you've come illegally. But whatever it is, you've gone through something which you believe is precious to you. That is why you're here. And when you're here, you learn. You learn the best practices, the way that we do things in the UK. Of course, it's not everything that it's amenable to change your culture. But I always say that we have to learn. And the learning includes what we're going to deal with today. I always say that this is God-given right. So God is giving all of us something here. if you look at my coconut head, it's got something in there which
nobody can take away from you.
Yes, they call it a gray matter. And I believe that if we use that more often, we will make the right decisions. If not all the time, it will be most of the time. Yeah.
All right. So if you joined us now, we're live on BWTV. And as I have introduced him, he is the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Uncle Ben, and he's a resource person and guest. BWF Solicitors, as Uncle Ben mentioned, we come your way 3 times in the week, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Saturdays, we do the community and the law. Now, at the beginning of the week, we are provided with some material that would help us understand the law and also know what updates there are. This week, we have something on maternity leave and approaching your 5-year skilled worker indefinite leave to remain situation. Under appendix skilled worker, SW 24.4b, where an applicant is currently absent for a reason listed in part suitability SUI 36.1 or returned from such absence within the month before applying, the Home Office assesses the salary requirement by reference to the salary on return to work as confirmed by the sponsor. The Home Office skilled worker caseworker guidance also requires the sponsor at settlement to confirm that the applicant remains required for the foreseeable future and will receive the required salary. Maternity leave should not derail your journey to indefinite leave to remain. Reduced maternity pay does not automatically mean you fail the skilled worker salary requirement. This one is quoted from Appendix Skilled Worker SW 24.4b, Part Suitability SUI 36.1, something from the Home Office Skilled Worker Case Worker Guidance. I believe you're asking, well, I go on maternity leave, they don't pay me my full salary, and then when I'm applying for my indefinite leave to remain, I'm supposed to quote a threshold. Does that have to affect me one way or the other negatively? I'll ask Uncle Ben.
Okay, well, okay, cool. So the reason why we brought this nugget, last week, I think on Thursday, we treated the issue with, and I've done a video as well, which is on TikTok. I think it will be shot on Facebook very soon and YouTube. So when you look at our people in the UK, those who are here on a skilled worker visa, significant number of them are either not working fully, working part-time, not being paid fully, being paid below the going rate or the threshold. And then there's so much confusion of, can I qualify?
Okay.
2 days ago on my program, there were 3 questions, all from people who are currently not working with their sponsored employer.
Okay.
And they are working with someone. They're earning money. They're earning potentially maybe the going rate or the threshold. So the question was, I'm not working with my employer because they were not giving me work. Can I use what I do to qualify for indefinite leave to remain? You can see that my focus has been on indefinite leave to remain because our people are coming to that time in the year over the period. Some people have achieved 5 years in the care industry because it started about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So our focus is on those people to let them understand their rights, the law, so that they don't make the mistake of going to apply for indefinite leave and putting all the bad things there, and the Home Office will use that against them.
Yeah.
So they are what we call the exempt absence or permissible absence.
Okay.
And then there are the compassionate circumstances or the exceptional grounds. I treated that on Thursday. It's a very complex area. So I'm very careful when I say stuff because I don't want people to misconstrue. Even for lawyers, not everyone understands this. So for you to qualify for indefinite leave, I will always use my 5 fingers. First of all, you should be on a skilled worker and you're being sponsored.
Okay.
2, your sponsor should be willing to sponsor you for the foreseeable future. 3, you're earning either the threshold or the going rate. But either way, you're earning at least the threshold. 4, you have done your English and your life in the UK. And then 5, on character, because when you look at the nugget we share, there was a part, although the first part is the SW, which is skilled worker, 24.1B, and then there was SU, sorry, it's 24.4B, that is a skilled worker. But when you look at SUI, which is past suitability, it goes to character.
Okay.
So that also is a requirement for the indefinite leave to remain.
Right.
So you need to meet those requirements. So for example, somebody would say, I'm on maternity leave. In the UK, you're entitled to 1 year maternity leave. The maternity can start, I think, up to 12 weeks before, especially if you've got medical condition. And whilst your maternity leave, you also accrue your leaves because it's part of your work.
Right.
And you're paid 26 weeks. And then the other 26 weeks, you're paid a reduced rate by the state because your employer can get a refund from HM Revenue and Customs. So for those people on maternity leave, paternity leave, shared parental leave, adoption leave, jury service, witness protection program, industrial action, these are all permissible absence. Okay. Remember that any absence of more than 4 weeks in a year is a red flag. The sponsor has a duty to report to the Home Office if someone is absent for more than 4 weeks in a year, even if it's a permissible absence. So permissible absence are those that have lifted under 24, SW 24. And they, even if you go to 36 Appendix SU 36, it's also there. They are all permissible absences. But it's your underpayment, your under hour, your inconsistent and contradictory employment contract, COS, and salary or pay slips. How do they affect you? They affect you to the extent that if you're not earning the proper income, including the threshold or the going rate, and the going rate and the threshold are two different things, but your focus should be on the going rate. Where you have the going rate, if you multiply it by 37.5, you achieve the threshold.
Okay.
Every time you're paying the going rate, if you multiply it by 37.5 hours a week, you will achieve the threshold. The threshold varies from 25,000 for 6135, which is care and home carers, and 6131, which is ancillariness, up to 41,700. But there are people who earn way above that. But my focus now is for people in the care category and the things that we call tradesmen, like tilers and painters and construction workers, 41,700. But within that, there are those people who were on the skilled worker route by April 2024. They get an exemption, they get a lower rate. If somebody is doing a STEM, they get a lower rate. If somebody has a PhD, they get 70. If somebody is 26 years, they get exemption. It's a very complex area. So for those people who have issues, I've done a video on TikTok. If you go to Bernard Wiseman Solicitor, it will be there. And I've broken it down. Bite size is about 3 to 4 minutes. It's all there. So for those people genuinely on maternity leave, sick leave, parental leave, shared parental leave, those people are covered. But I was able to research, and even for some of our people who are not doing the hours and they are on reduced hours, if the employer can justify, first of all, they have to report it. But if they can justify that there are exceptional grounds, what are exceptional grounds?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Okay. So whilst here, I've got a call. Maybe your loved one has passed away. It's not one of the permissible absences.
Yeah. But exception.
But it can affect you. For some people, I know somebody who developed mental health issues, and the person has had it because she lost her father and she wasn't able to travel. And, she's been on it for a long time. and it affected her. And there are people who also, because of bereavement or some other issues in their family, it affects them and they can't work. There are people who may have lost their loved one. They are brokenhearted. They've been left by their partners and they're going through issues. So they can't concentrate at work. Right. Maybe they need time off. All these are those that are called compassionate. But please, employer, don't abuse this. Because when we identify a loophole, and I don't call it a loophole, I call it a legal route for you to be exempt from a requirement. People should not abuse it. Yeah. And that's why we want to focus for now on the people on maternity leave. We'll eventually roll out those who are not getting the full hours and then are being paid the lower rate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it says that Appendix Skilled Worker SW24B and Past Suitability SUI 36.1, maternity leave should not derail your journey to indefinite leave to remain. Reduced maternity pay does not automatically mean you fail the skilled worker salary requirement. Trust BWF solicitors to bring you all these things. And you can get that on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all the social media platforms at BWF Solicitors. And if you've joined us now on the Community and the Law, we're live on YouTube and Facebook at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV. Those of you who have joined us, I want you to announce yourselves. And also, if you have any comment or question, you can leave them in the comment section down below. Pick up the link, like it, and share so others will have the benefit of what you are having as well. We are going to say thank you to BWF Solicitors, but I will come back to this very lovely piece of equipment that I am holding. It is mine. When you look at my screen now, it's got my picture. Somebody tells me, oh, you love yourself. Yes, I need to love myself. But I've got my code there, which makes it exclusively mine. But when the immigration people come to my work place of work, my home, or they meet me on the street and accost me, do I have to open up my phone for them? If yes, under what condition? If no, how can I resist that? We'll be looking at that. We'll be looking at our rights on a UK visa, and especially if your bank account is being asked to be made available to them. Under what condition can you do that? Trust BWF Solicitors to help us unravel this. So join us as we take this very quick break. We're live on BWTV and at BWF Solicitors, both on Facebook and YouTube. I'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for still staying with us live on BWTV at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV UK. Let me see if I can do some house cleaning. You join us, click on the link, like the page, and share. And I would acknowledge the few that I have. Joseph Esia, good afternoon, Uncle Ben. Good afternoon, Reku and BWF Solicitors team. God bless you for the great work you are doing for the community. Joe, thank you very much. Abaji Daniel, thanks BWF Solicitors for serving us. Daniel, thank you as well. Mami Indabozo, you're welcome, Uncle Ben. Well, we're so privileged to have him. He is such a busy person. So when I'm able to pull him over here to help us on a Saturday afternoon, you know, is a big privilege. So thank you very much, Mami Indabozo, for welcoming him. Good evening, everyone. Lady Nachi, good evening, lady. How are you? I hope you're doing so very well and fine. And Anajiman, please share, he says. Thank you very much, Class Prefect, for doing this. And I want to reiterate one thing. In the comment section, both on Facebook and YouTube, the interaction there is a whole community in itself. We call it the classroom. And people who come in there, the Class Prefect is Anajiman. He gave him the title way back, years back when we started this program. And he encourages people to do that. Teleduma and all the other bits, sometimes they come and they call out names and tell people to come join the program. So if you are new here, that's the culture, and I believe you will join it and enjoy it. The sound was off, really? Okay, I think it's sorted. Thank you very much for letting us know. But yes, our technicians are right on board. Professor Ade, our producer, is right on top of the situation. Rena Isiao, good afternoon, Uncle Ben. Good afternoon to you, Rena, as well. And then I think I'll pick one more and we'll go into our discussion. Isaac Jima, I want to talk to him direct. Jima, when we have finished with the discussion, that was the next point I was going to make. The lines will be active. It will be 0208 493 7345, 0208 493 7345. You can call at that time when I announce that the lines are active, or you can send a text on 0739 208 468, and you can send in your text or WhatsApp, or as last week somebody did, call on the line as well. So yes, let's get into the whole thing. We are looking at the Rina. You are saying good afternoon to Uncle Ben. Yeah, thank you very much. Immigration people, can they search your phone and ask for your bank account to be opened up to them? I would say I would say no. They will have to give me a good reason for that. But let me gather us all together and go under the feet of Uncle Ben to ask these questions. How are we to insist or even to know our rights on a UK visa? Uncle Ben, very difficult question.
Yes.
The policeman meets me, the immigration person meets me, or come to my home, where they may even come with a warrant to say, well, we have information that you are so and such is the situation we have on our hands, so we want to find out. So give me your phone because I need to search you. Should I do that?
Well, you know, it's more nuanced than that. If somebody comes to your home and they've got a warrant, the warrant will specifically say what a warrant is for.
Yeah.
If it's to search for stolen goods, the stolen goods will not be on your phone.
Okay.
If it's to search for maybe possession of indecent material on children, very likely on a device. Now, everything that we do in policing and immigration, whether here or any country in the world, is based in law.
Okay.
We are lucky we come under the common law, which is a common law jurisdiction. The foremost country is the United Kingdom, although we like to say England and Wales, because Scottish law is different, and Northern Ireland, their law is different. But I would say about 90% of our laws are the same. Beyond that, the question that one will ask is, can a policeman, and let's focus on immigration because the police are a different kettle of fish. Can an immigration officer take my phone and then go through my phone? And the answer is, it depends on the type of person you are. The law under the 1971 Immigration Act, Schedule 2, paragraph 25, defines specified persons whose device could be looked at. So if we look at the first one, let's do number one. I said number three, but let's do number one. I will take us through this law, which is the BSIA, Border Security, Asylum and Immigration Act 2025, Seizure of Electronic Devices Policy Guidance. So this is not a law, but it's a guidance. The reason why this law was created was that the Home Office was ordered to pay compensation to thousands of people who had crossed the channel, whose phone were retained, SIM card removed, and data on it assessed. The court, the High Court, in the case of HM, there were about several cases, but a few of them took the case to court. They said, no, there's no policy, there's no law that enables you. You are abusing this right. So they then put in this law. So this law is our guide, and the law will take us to whose phone can be accessed or can be requested by the Home Office. If we go down slightly, let's go down. Let's pause. It says background. The Border Security Asylum, which is the BSI Act, received royal assent on the 22nd of December. And it applies specifically to the sections that I've mentioned, 25 and 25A of the 71 Act, without suspecting the person with the information being involved in criminal conduct or suspect being arrested. Now look at it. The new powers allow authorized officers. So the first thing we need to notice, one, the person must be authorized. To search for, seize, retain, and use information from electronic devices belonging to, number two, illegal entrants and arrivals. So number one, authorized officer. They can seize, they can retain, they can use information which has been derived from the device, the electronic device. But the person must come under section 25 and 25A of Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act 1971. And you see, it defines those people as relating to commission of an offense under section 25. So if you don't suspect the person of committing an offense or going to commit an offense, and we'll look at another guidance which goes through a convoluted area of doing a potentially subjective assessment, but they want to tell us it's objective. Now, when we go slightly, it says the powers are primarily intended for use in high-risk settings, such as small boat arrivals, because that is where the Home Office paid the compensation. So this law is not for you, the person who is a student, and that's why we did this program, or we're doing this program today, who is a student, who is in the UK legally, who may be working more than the 20 hours. This law, to search your phone, to retain your phone, to take material from the phone, it doesn't apply to you. It applies to criminals. You're not a criminal. The fact that you're doing more hours doesn't make you a criminal. You may be in breach of your condition, but that breach does not constitute a criminal offense because immigration crimes are defined under Section 1, which gives the immigration the power, and also Section 25 and 25A of the 71 Act. So that act doesn't fall there. Let's go down.
Okay.
So when go down. Now, powers to search for, seize, retain, use. This section outlines how the powers, and then it explains. We did identify one authorized officer. Who's an authorized officer? B-side 25, it tells us who an authorized officer is. Immigration officer. So border force and enforcement. These are warranted immigration officer, not a booga man who just turns up at your door. And I'll tell you how to be rude to them because you have to be. I remember in my 20s, I went to Birmingham Airport to represent my client. This immigration officer came down to the waiting area. The first question he asked me is, Mr. Wusu, are you in the UK legally? And I told him, I said, sir, with due respect, you have no right to ask me this question. I'm here as a lawyer. At the time, I wasn't a solicitor. I was a qualified barrister. I said, I'm here as a lawyer to represent my client. He said, no, I'm only asking you. I said, no, you're fishing for information. And you're not allowed to fish for information because I am empowered. I knew the law. I had the knowledge, and I was confident enough to use the knowledge. Somebody hasn't got. So we were giving people the knowledge. Empowerment, So let's go there. There's something I want to do. I haven't finished. Let's go back to that law. And you can see the authorized officer is immigration officer, a constable of local policing body, constable of Scotland, constable of Northern Ireland, a national crime agency. Let's go down. Let's go down. Who is a relevant person? Now, these are the only people whose devices you can take.
Okay.
Tell us. Kweku, I'll leave this for you.
Okay, so the powers under Visa Act 2025 can only be exercised against a relevant person as defined in Section 22(2). A relevant person is someone who has entered or arrived in the UK as set out below and has not subsequently been given leave to enter or remain in the UK. And it defines that. A relevant person requires leave to enter the UK but has entered the UK without such leave, whether before...
Let's pause there. It's a student who's got a student visa that will expire in October in his room. Is he someone without leave to come to the UK?
They have their permission to come here.
Let's go to the next one.
And has entered the UK in breach of a deportation order.
Has he entered in breach of a deportation?
No.
Let's go to the next one.
Requires entry clearance under the immigration rules, but has arrived in the UK without a valid entry clearance.
The person has leave until October. Has he got leave? He's got leave.
He's a qualified student.
Yes. Let's go to the next one.
Is required under the immigration rules not to travel to the UK without an electronic travel authorization that is valid for the person's journey to the UK, but has arrived in the UK without such an electronic travel authorization.
Yes, if somebody is come here without an ESTA, which means that they haven't got a visa and the person is entered illegally. So, my dear friends, Uncle Ben says that based on this, the immigration has no business coming to your house to ask for your phone unless you are a relevant person under Section 22(2) of the B-side 2020.
Let me ask this question. It might sound naive, but let me still ask it. There are some category of authorized officers that can come to my house.
Yeah.
And you have defined who a relevant person is, which you have just looked at. So if the qualified officer of the land comes to my house and I am not a relevant officer, I can tell him or her to step off because I am a relevant person. And I'm not a relevant person.
That's correct.
Can I say them to them in the face?
And this is what you say. So he knocks on your door, you open it in an arrogant way. You look at his face and say, hey, mate, how can I help you? And he said, we are immigration officers. And you say, and so how can I help you? So we are here to look for these people and to search. So by what power are you here to look for this person? Yeah. I'm sure they will also be arrogant because they can be very arrogant people. They will quote a law. You say, please, hold on a second. Can you show me that law which says that I, and it's me you're looking for, I'm the person, this person, can be looked for by this law. Show me what the law says. They've got all the time in the world because there's something called informed consent. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, let's leave here Ghana and Brazil at the door when we enter our houses, because the English phrase, an Englishman's home is his castle. Castles are protected. There's a law that says that you've got a right to quiet enjoyment and to enjoy your property. Although you are a tenant, you are a lodger, you are a lessee, you still have a right of enjoyment. So when an immigration officer with their big trousers and their overhanging coat turns up at your property and knock on your door, the first thing you ask is, can you identify yourself? Why are you here? They tell you why you're here. By which law are you doing this? And you can also ask them whether they've got a permission to come to your house. They may have a warrant, but read the warrant or ask them to read it to you. In an arrogant way, can you say, so you can turn around and say, sir, can you read that
law
warrant to me that clearly has my name and has my address? Because if the warrant has a different address by your name, you're not coming in, mate. So you have to tell him, you're not coming in, mate. And you can bang the door, go and lie down and drink your mocha, your Milo, or if you are a coffee person, drink your coffee in the knowledge that you haven't committed a criminal offense. So that is the education I want to give people. Kweku, and I'll see the floor to you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to get my muscles bigger at the minute so I can block the door. But in any case, when you are confronted with a situation like that, as Uncle Ben has rightly pointed it out to us, and Prof, if you could get me back to, I want to look at the relevant officers and the relevant persons, so I can quickly reiterate, then we follow up with other questions. So let's go to the officers. If we could go back to who the officers, who are authorized officers. And we have been pointed out to this resource that says that authorized officers are immigration officers, border force and immigration enforcement, a constable of local policing body in England and Wales, a constable of the police service of Scotland, a constable of the police service of Northern Ireland, and a National Crime Agency officer. All police constable and NC officers must follow the authorization process set out in section 24(2) of the Act, requiring an inspector or equivalent grade to authorize the use of the powers at each stage to search for, seize, retain, and use the information. This authorization process does not apply to immigration officers. Then who are the relevant people? Let's look at that, as Uncle Ben pointed out to us. A relevant person requires leave to enter the UK but has entered the UK without such leave, whether before or after relevant sections come into force. A relevant person has entered the United Kingdom in breach of a deportation order. A relevant person requires entry clearance under the immigration rules but has arrived in the UK without a valid entry clearance. A relevant person is required under the immigration rules not to travel to the UK without an electronic travel authorization that is valid for the person's journey to the UK, but has arrived in the UK without such an electronic travel. There's something, though Uncle Ben stopped us there, but there's that bit I want us to add on. Then it says the phrase has not subsequently been granted leave to enter or remain refers to the individual's immigration status at the time of the encounter. So if they come in and in our example, our friend or student who is not a relevant person at that time has every right to ask them to, as you know the word, dash off. So you can exercise your right and enjoy your castle. But Uncle Ben, my question here is, unfortunately, I was naive enough and I allowed them in. Allowed them to do whatever it is they wanted to do. They have seized my gadgets and have searched through it. How do I remedy the situation?
Kweku, so, you know, I've told you this story. The reason why we're having this program is on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, I got a call from a Ghanaian who was very frantic. He was a master's student. He's now going to do his post-study. Two of them were in the house. One's visa expires January. The other one expires, I think, in October. So they're waiting for an email from their university for them to apply for the post-study or the graduate route. And then these 6 people appeared. 4 went in, 2 went into the room with his friend, 2 went into the room with him, and then 2 were outside. So as soon as they got in, whatever conversation they had, as far as I could tell, they were there to investigate, which is an administrative power, to investigate whether they were working in excess of the student 20 hours term time. These are people who have completed university. So the gentleman said he came in and there was a conversation. So he asked for his phone and then he gave him his phone. We will go back and we'll have a look what this means and why I've told him that every evidence they've taken from there, I will write to them to delete it. They have no legal right to hold on to the information. So they said, can we look, have your phone? They gave it. Can you open your phone? He opened it with its password. Can we look at your bank account? They looked at the bank account up to last year, May. And then from there, they concluded that you're working for this company and you'll be working for more than 20 hours a week during term time. How they could tell from a simple banking app showing payment in and the payment accounts for more than 20 hours, that I don't know. But for some reason, they had information that these people were working more than 20 hours. So that is why we're having this program. Let's go back to our number 1. And I want you to scroll down slightly. And then when we finish, we'll do our number 3. Let's go back to the number 1. I want to show something. It's very, very key. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down. Hold on. Authorized officers must take reasonable and proportionate steps to establish a person's identity and nationality before exercising the powers. Because the person has to be a relevant person. Let's go. The power. Once an authorized officer has established that an individual is a relevant person, so you as a student, you're not a relevant person. No, so at that point, that man should be given the marching order. You should be telling him that, one, you can't come here. So leave my door. You can bang the door and go upstairs and enjoy your mocha. Then it goes on to say that, and confirm that beside 25 such powers has not previously been used, they may conduct a search of a relevant person. The NCA, National Crime Agency, and police constable must gain authorization from inspector or equivalent. An authorized officer may search the person's mouth and require the person to remove an outer coat, jacket, or glove, but no other clothing. So he can't look in your boxer shorts. An authorized officer may search premises properly, a vehicle or a container. There are further requirements in relation to searching the relevant. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go. Okay, now this is what I want us to. Requesting a PIN. So first of all, we know that our student brothers, this doesn't apply to them. Consent should not be relied upon as a single legal basis for data processing. Instead, the lawful basis aligns with strict necessity for law and enforcement purposes. Part 3 and Schedule 8 of Data Protection at DPA 2008. The power is necessary for judicial and statutory powers for reasons of substantial public interest. Authorized officers can ask a relevant person to voluntarily provide their PINs. Note, relevant person. You're not a relevant person. And password for access. But it is extremely important that there is absolute no representation or implication. 1, that the individual is under a duty or otherwise provide the PIN. You're under no duty to provide any PIN.
And nothing should happen to you if you
No.
deny them that.
No, and they know it. That we have a legal basis, because this is telling that they have no legal basis to ask for your PIN. There's no legal basis for it. And it goes on, or there will be any sanction. If you don't give it, there can't be any sanctions or repercussions against you.
Yeah.
I want us to look at 3. There are certain things that I want us to look at. The third document. Is it this one? Okay, let's go. Definitions. Now we're going to learn law. When we go back to 2, let's start from 2. Definitions of terms used: powers, administrative and criminal. Now, there are criminal matters that they may be investigated. Most of the relevant persons, they have committed a criminal offense. Now, when they are coming to remove you from the UK, it's an administrative function. We will read something here. So once the immigration is in your house, if it's not because of something that you've done, which is a criminal act, and we'll look at the criminal actions. The powers described are divided between administrative power that enable you to arrest and detain suspected immigration offenders for the purposes of removing them from the UK. So if you're not removing them from the UK, you can't detain them.
Okay.
You cannot be detained if you're not going to be removed from the UK. So this student, who is a master's student, who is just finished his university, has leave until October, he's not going to be removed, so he can't be detained. And when the police officer came to his room and said, "Go to your room," and pushed him into his room, that is detention. That is unlawful. So everything they've done is unlawful. And for you to record this, when they come, ask them to turn on their camera and their recording device, because you want to use this against them. And I will lead you, who sue them. There's a Nigerian man, he got £231,000. They detained him for 8 months. This is somebody who had leave under EU requirement. Let's go on. Criminal powers that you normally use where it is intended to investigate a person for one of the criminal offenses described in the Immigration Act. When investigating illegal entry and general breaches of immigration conditions of stay, you will use administrative powers. Let's go. So, in all the things that we're saying, they must have a reasonable suspicion. Many of the powers described in this use the term reasonable. Reasonable in law means fair, proper, moderate. Is it fair that they've gone to the house of a student, they've told him that the suspect is working more than 20 hours, and so what? And so what? For them to say, "Give us your phone. Go through the phone, he providing them with his password. Let's go on. Let's go. And then burden of proof. So when they said that Kwejo, Kweku, Nana, Owusu, we suspect that you're working more than 20 hours, you should ask them to open this and read it. Kweku, let's read what it says.
When a person is bound to prove the existence of any fact, it is said that the burden of proof lies on that person. In the 3 jurisdictions of the UK, Northern Ireland, England, Wales, and Scotland, there are only 2 standards of proof in trials. There are others which are defined in statutes, such as those relating to police powers. The criminal standard, formerly described as beyond reasonable doubt, that standard remains, and words commonly used, though the Judicial Studies Board guidance is that juries might be assisted by being told that to convict, they must be persuaded, so that you are sure. Then it goes to the civil standard, that is the balance of probabilities, often referred to in judgments as more likely than not.
Let's go down slightly.
Belief and suspicion. You must give the terms belief and suspicion their ordinary meaning, the starting point therefore being the dictionary's definitions. A common direction given, that's suspicion, a common direction given to criminal juries on what the term suspicion means is that there must be a possibility that the person liable to arrest is on the premises that is more than fanciful. Moreover, Although a vague feeling of unease is not sufficient and there must be a reasonable basis for the possibility, it needs to be clear or firmly grounded and targeted on specific facts. Then we go on to believe. This is generally regarded as higher threshold than suspicion. However, the difference between belief and suspicion is very slight. Both may be satisfied at a low threshold. Belief is, for instance, more equivalent to knowing that the person may be on the premises in question. Belief should therefore be clear and founded on specific intelligence. Then we'll go on to material deception. General instructions refer to material deception in relation to illegal entry or applications for leave. In this context, material deception means that the deception is used in relating to an issue which is or may be determinative of the application for leave. Whether or not it is necessary to prove that the deception used was material depends on the cases types or the case types described within initial consideration and assessment of liability to removal. Then we come to premises. A premises is defined as any property or building, whether residential or business, which an immigration officer seeks to enter or search under the Immigration Acts. In England and Wales, Section 23 of Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984 defines premises as any place and in particular includes any vehicle, vessel, aircraft, or hovercraft, offshore installation, renewable energy installation or renewable energy installation, tent or movable structure. When, where, and how you are allowed to carry out a search of premises depends on whether you have made an arrest or where you made the arrest.
Okay, now, so everything we've read here points to one direction, that every power that the person or the officer is exercising must be founded in law. It must be reasonable. It must be a reasonable belief. And because it's a civil standard, because they are investigating you for administrative removal, which is civil. When they are investigating you for a criminal offense, the burden is higher. It is beyond reasonable doubt. So if somebody comes to you and said, Nana, we are from Immigration and Enforcement Unit. We are suspecting you of bringing in illegal immigrants to the UK. It's a criminal offense under Section 25. So the first thing we read is, one, belief and burden of proof. The burden, what they said is that in law, where a person alleges something, the burden of that fact, the burden of proof of that fact is on that person. So when somebody is come to your house, he needs to prove to you that the things that they are saying is true. Why do you give me your phone to check your bank account? He's the one who's saying that we believe that you're working more than 20 hours. They didn't come with your boss in tow, the boss that employs you, and the boss say, oh yeah, that's Kweku. This is a man. He's been working 40 hours since he came to the UK. They just turn up in their big trousers, and some of their trousers are very big because they've got all these tools in there. What they're using them for, I don't know. They can be very annoying people. That I can tell you. They've come. They said, we suspect that you're working more than 20 hours. I would say, first of all, who are you? By which law do you suspect? And do you know that where you allege something against me, which may end up being an administrative offense, the burden is on you to prove it. Why am I supposed to give you my phone, my PIN, and for you to go through my account? So my brothers and sisters, the reason why we focus on this is that you have your right in the UK. Maybe Ghana you don't, because I've seen some things going on there where a particular department of Ghana is arresting everyone without a reasonable cause. So maybe that's there. But you're here. You're not in Ghana. You're here. So in UK, nobody can come to your house, whether you're renting, you're a lodger, you're a visitor, or whatever. Once you've got permission to stay in the house, Immigration cannot come there and knock on your door and ask you to open the door. Because once you allow them in, the argument is that you gave them consent to come in.
Mm.
No consent. Withhold your consent. Even when you know that you are as guilty as they've said they are illegal immigrant, you've overstayed your visa. You're not a relevant person. They cannot come and search you without a warrant. They cannot enter your premises without a warrant, unless they've got a warrant which entitles them to come there specifically for that purpose. If they haven't got it, send them away. Let's go to the final one. I think it's number 3. We'll do that, and then we'll take some calls. We've done 1 hour on this. Okay, let's have a look. Enforcement visit. So now we've gone to the visit. We've learned everything which they can do. So let's see what a visit is about. Let's go. Okay. No. Go. Stop there. Kweku, I want you to read this.
Identification by officers during operations. This instruction constitutes a standard requirement to be followed in all cases unless it is impractical to do so because of safety or other overriding operational constraints such as the need to preserve evidence or engage in pursuit. On entering premises, the officer in charge, OIC, or other in-ticket arrest trained officer seeking entry must identify themselves to the person allowing entry. If you are entering under a warrant and are in full immigration enforcement uniform with warrant number clearly visible, you do not have to show your warrant card unless requested to do so. For more information, see warrants presentation on entry, warrants procurement and use. Without a warrant, that is with an AD letter entering under paragraph 25A of Schedule 2, entering under Section 179 of the Licensing Act 2003.
They're going to look for alcohol. So this doesn't apply to anyone at all. So let's go on.
Well, with fully informed consent, you must show your warrant card unless the premises are unoccupied. For more information, you see the procedure on entry under Section 28 CA in warrants procurement and use. For fully informed consent, see entry by informed consent. In all cases, you must record your actions in your paper notebook or digital pocket notebook as soon as reasonably practicable. The DPNB, that is the digital pocket notebook, is contained in the Pronto, that is Police Reporting and Notebook Organizer, enabled mobile phone.
Let's go down a bit. Let's go.
Yeah. So identification by officers not in uniform. If you are present on a visit but not in uniform, you must identify yourself in all cases to any person you attempt to speak with or who requests evidence of your identity and authority. You must produce your warrant card and record that you have done so on your Pronto.
So Kweku, you can see that in all this, identification. Why is it necessary? It is necessary because for that person to come to your premises, he needs to be a warranted officer. They've said it. 2, they also must have a warrant. So a warranted officer will have a badge. Not every immigration officer is a warranted officer. Some are at Croydon, they call them immigration officer. There's some in Ghana, they call them immigration officer. They're not warranted. So they must have a warrant fully and visibly displayed on their pocket. If not, you can ask. Even if it's displayed, you can still ask them. But there's something crucial. Once they've identified themselves, that process must be entered into their electronic notebook or small notebook. It's called Konkonsa notebook. If you've seen an immigration officer's Konkonsa notebook, it's the size of a phone, a mobile phone. And they write all sorts of Konkonsa in there. So once they've written that, and I'm saying all this so that in future, if there's a dispute about an allegation you've made against a person, know that they have a duty to record what has been said. So if they say there's no evidence and they haven't recorded it in their Pronto and it's not on their it's not in their Konkonsa hand, then you know that they themselves, they've committed an offense.
offense.
And you can make an. But I want us to look at entry to premises.
This page tells immigration office enforcement officers about the general conduct of enforcement visits and use of implied license and informed consent to enter premises. Entry by implied license and informed consent. For the purpose of this guidance, implied license is an unwritten permission to do something that you would otherwise not be able to do without committing trespass. This is what allows you to go into the front garden of a property and knock on the door to inquire whether you may be admitted to conduct your lawful business.
So, Kweku, what does it say? So they have to knock, right?
Yes.
They cannot even come into your back garden. Even your front door, they can't come there. But there is an implied consent there. So when they come, when they knock, why are they knocking? They're knocking for permission.
Permission to enter.
Let's go on. There's a reason why I want us to read this.
So if you wish to enter a shopping center to conduct inquiries,
we are not bothered about shopping center. Let's go to the next one.
The extent of an implied license in a residential setting will normally be the same as where a postman can go to effectively deliver the post, or in cases of multiple occupancy properties where the post boxes are inside the main entrance door. Implied license will normally stop at the main entrance door.
Absolutely. So once it gets to your door, let's say you are in an apartment, he's managed to come through the main entrance. He has no other permission to come to your room. And you see why.
The extent of an implied license on, okay, I think we've read that. In a multiple occupancy property where the post boxes are inside, but the door entry is on the outside, you would have to stay outside. As a member of the public would normally have to communicate with the occupier from the outside by intercom.
Okay.
Now, entry into rear gardens without warrant. Where you do not have a warrant.
Kweku, it says without warrant.
Yes.
So they presupposes that if you're going to, even if you're going to the garden, you need a warrant.
You need a warrant to go to
because else you will be a trespasser.
Yeah.
Okay, let's read on.
And you would have walked through the main house.
Or maybe so there are some houses you can go
through the back
garden.
door.
Yeah.
Okay. It is acceptable to enter rear gardens or the backyards of business premises such as shops and restaurants.
We're not worried about business premises.
Right. Your pre-visit virtual walk or drive-by reconnaissance or dynamic risk assessment demonstrates that.
Let's go down.
Yeah, let's go. Definition of informed consent.
Okay.
Informed consent is where a person agrees something having been informed of the risks associated with giving that consent.
Okay. So this our friend who gave his phone, do you suppose that they informed him that when you give us your phone, we will take information and use it against you? He wasn't told.
No, he wouldn't have done it.
So the consent, if they argue that it's an informed consent, in this case, informed consent says that informed consent is where a person agrees something having been informed of the risks. He's not been told. If you give us this, we will use it and we will deport you. So please think twice before you give us this information. He wasn't told that. And these are some of the little things that even lawyers struggle with. Let's go down. There's something that I want all of us to see. Let's go. Let's go down. Here we go.
Obtaining fully informed consent.
Yes.
This one says, when seeking to obtain fully informed consent, you must make sure that you cover all the important considerations listed in the NTO in plain language that the person you are speaking to can understand. You will need to include that you are an immigration officer and show your warrant card. You will need to ask if the person is the occupier or do they have the responsibility for this property. Note that you also need to confirm or ask if they are 18 years or over. You will need to include that you do not have a warrant or any other specific power to enter. Do they agree to you to entering the property for the intended reason?
Let's pause there. Let's read that again.
Include that you do not have a warrant or any other specific power to enter. Do they agree to you entering the property for the intended reason?
Okay. So in this case, what are they doing? They're asking for permission.
Yes.
Oh, so Kweku, we have information that you're working more than 20 hours as a student, and we are here to investigate you. Can we have your permission to come into your house?
No.
So in this case, They open the door, they say, we are immigration officers, and they enter the house.
This student will be very rich very soon.
And then they enter the house.
Mm-hmm.
No warrant, no. There's a difference between a warranted officer
Mm-hmm.
and a warrant. A warrant is a judge-issued order or directions
Mm-hmm.
given to a police officer or an immigration warranted officer to perform a function on an individual or on a premises which otherwise may have constituted either a trespassing offense or an illegal action against that person.
Right.
So if they don't have a warrant, they need your permission. And in most cases, when they come, they have to, one, identify themselves,
Mm-hmm.
show their warrant, tell you their name, tell you where they come from and why they are there. And then they have to seek your permission. You can tell them, mate, I'm not giving you my permission. On your march, away from here. And then they must leave.
They must leave.
They must leave. If they don't want to leave, they can go and sit in their car and do whatever they want to do. But until they come back with a warrant, you don't have to allow them to come into your premises. And the fact that they say we are immigration, Minya, don't panic. Mr. Sakukudra Mudi Dinko for Ghana Munsuru. No Fabian, no one can say this will not happen here. You don't have a warrant, you're not coming in, mate. Go take over.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ben. And listen, just one more thing. Uncle Ben, the warrant, before I go on my break.
Okay.
The warrant.
Yeah.
If I see that the warrant has some wrong information on there, can I tell you, make off?
Yes, it's not valid. So you must have the correct address, correct postcode. It must have the full name, full spelling, and it must be relevant to that person. So if my name is Bernard Owusu, my Bernard is spelled differently, and you come and you've got a normal Bernard, I'll tell you this is not me. Because if I apply for a visa and my passport spells my Bernard the way I spell it, and I fill the forms and write it differently, they can refuse my application and say you're not the same person. In the same way, if they come with a warrant, which mentions maybe Bequin, and maybe they've written Biko, B-E-K-O, but your name is B-E-K-O-E. It's not you. You're not Biko. You're Bequin. Although they want to call you Biko, you're not Biko. So they're looking for Biko. You're not Biko. They can't ask you to bring out your passport because you don't have to identify yourself. Everything we've said here so far, there's nowhere which says that you should be identifying yourself.
Mm. Well, my name is Oreku Frimpong. Spell it correctly. Interestingly, somebody asked me when they saw the flyer, but your name has Oreku Owusu Frimpong. Why is the flyer for this program saying Oreku Frimpong? Is that you? Interestingly, it could not be me. I'll be right back after this short break and say thank you to BWF Solicitors. Remember, we're live on BWTV at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV UK, both on Facebook and YouTube. Searching for your phone and bank account. What are your rights? We have outlined them. Now, when we come back, we'll pick up your questions and your comments. The phone lines will be active, 0208-493-7345. I'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Still live on BWTV, the program is The Community and the Law, and it's brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. This afternoon, we have looked at the question whether immigration people can search your phone and demand access to your bank account, what your rights on your visas are. And Uncle Ben, the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, our resource person, has been very open and gracious to us. The numbers are active again. I will read them as Richard is asking me to 0208 493 7345. 0208 493 7345. And you can leave your questions and comments in the comment section down below, either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV UK. So yes, I'm waiting for your calls. Uncle Ben is here. He will also answer your question when it is that you bring them. If you have any contribution to make to the program, you're also invited to do that. Kinda Kamara says, Uncle Ben, I applied against leave to remain tribunal. I applied against leave tribunal, said Home Office to do review. How long does this review take? Okay, so I believe you have appealed against the decision, and the tribunal says that they should go and review their decision. How long would it take? I think that's what I can get out of your bit.
Well, I mean, normally when a court is ordered the Home Office to do something, give and take, I'll say 28 days, unless there's a specific time given in court. So you should be able to get a decision. If not, your lawyer should be chasing them.
Okay. So, Kinda, thank you very much for that. Thanks, Uncle, for your answer. Citizen Kojo says Jovi came to the UK on a student visa based on Government of Ghana scholarship. She has now completed her studies and is currently on a skilled worker visa. During the one-year period of her studies, the Government of Ghana failed to pay her tuition fees and maintenance allowance as provided for under her scholarship. As a result, she had to borrow money from friends and family to cover her living expenses and has recently become subject to debt collection efforts. The Government of Ghana has now issued an instruction requiring scholarship beneficiaries to attend an oath-taking exercise, with beneficiaries of reaffirming their commitment to return to Ghana and serve the nation as stated in the scholarship agreement. Ajovi is willing to sign the oath so that the outstanding tuition fee can be processed and paid. However, she is concerned that the government may only settle the outstanding tuition fees and fail to reimburse the maintenance expenses that she personally incurred during her studies. In these circumstances, what can she do to protect her position before signing the oath? Uncle?
Well, Kweku, first of all, I am a lawyer and I like to answer all questions. I have come to realize that this issue has become partisan, and there are some comments that I don't wish to put on radio, where some information has been provided not by Ghana High Commission per se, but by the High Commissioner. I know that this is a very emotive issue for those people who are on scholarship. The only thing that I want to ask is Jovi or the name Kwabna. The problem with this is if you're on government scholarship, unless you're given exemption by the state, when you finish your university, you cannot even do a post-study work. You will have to return. Okay? So if somebody is already doing post-study work, it means that they've been given exemption by the state. So I'm not sure whether there's an issue that you are aware of. If you came here on a government scholarship, you have to return to do as agreed, either on a government scholarship or Commonwealth scholarship. They all have an inbuilt safeguard for you to go back and serve. I'm not sure how you manage to be able to work here, which means that you may have been given exemption. But as I said, this has become a very partisan issue, and I want to maintain my position as a lawyer. Not that I don't have a view. Those who know me know that I have a strong view on this, but on the basis that I'm talking for all Ghanaians, I want to reserve my view. But the advice I've given you is, if you want to come back and confirm whether the person was given an exemption, if they were given an exemption, then maybe the alleged or the purported oath may not apply to them.
Well, keep them coming through 0208-493-7345. That's the line for the studio thing. And if you want to put them in the comment section below, you're allowed to do that either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors. About 2 weeks ago, Vivian says, the police rang our doorbell. I went down to meet them and they asked me to see my neighbor in the other flat. Before I say Jack, one of them asked me to go in and they followed to knock on the neighbor's door and I went into my flat. In that case, what did I do wrong? All right.
Well, I think, you should also be aware that the block of apartments will have a common entrance, which is what we talked about, the postman entrance.
Yes.
That is what we called a presumed consent. So they can come to the entrance and maybe climb the stairs. They cannot go into the room without being allowed in. So maybe you want to clarify, but if it's just the common entrance, then really they can come through the common entrance, yes. But remember that the police obviously have a different role from the immigration, although sometimes their roles clash.
So Vivian, yeah, that's your answer. Thank you very much. Keep them coming through. Let's see what we have next. Anthony Aturoxen. I just joined. Can I go back later and watch the video on YouTube? Yes, you can do that. I think Facebook now has a policy after some time they delete all the videos. YouTube, it stays there for some time. But yes, for at least for the next year and even beyond, you can watch back. There was one we did, very interesting one when Uncle Ben was on 2 weeks ago. You can watch that one. We repeated the last week because we had to. Today we have had a live one and we'll be there. When you go to BWF Solicitors, both on Facebook and YouTube, you can watch again. Vivian comes back, Uncle Ben, to say, yes, common entrance.
Yeah, so common entrance is a presumed consent. So they can come through there, but they cannot come into your apartment.
Okay, yeah, Vivian, thank you very much. It tells me you're very attentive and well done for that. Thank you very much again, Vivian. Yes, you're with us. Share the page. Let people also come join you to enjoy the knowledge you have had. The person on the line, please just hold on. Let me finish with Emmanuel's bit and I'll come back to you. Can you switch immediately when your sponsorship license is revoked, but you haven't received any email from the Home Office?
Yes, you can switch. You don't have to wait for the Home Office to send you a revocation email.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. My name is Richard, and I want to ask one of questions.
Yes, Richard, please go ahead. Uncle Ben is here.
Okay. Uncle Ben, please, I have an issue. I'm on sponsorship.
Can you raise your voice just a wee bit more?
Okay, I'm on visa sponsorship.
Yes.
I came here as a skilled worker, and 2023. So 2023, when I came, my main company didn't have job for me, so I switched to construction in 2024. So after I switched to construction in 2024, then my second employer, which is the construction, doesn't also have job for me. But I am currently working in the care sector. When I work and then send money to my employer, then he pays me. And I want to know.
No. But hold on. How can you work and send money to your employer to pay you? Obviously, you're not doing the right thing. You are working. Somebody pays you, and you send money to another person to pay them. Why?
Because I don't have any option. I don't have any choice.
But you've made a choice. Your choice you have made is you are flouting the law. You've made a choice. Do you get me?
Yeah.
You have decided to move to another employment. There are legal routes and legitimate routes to do that. Now you are paying somebody to pay you. Officer, I don't think I wouldn't even ask Uncle Ben to answer you. You have made a choice to flout the law. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. 0208-493-7345. You can send your comments to the comment section down below on Facebook and YouTube. And Uncle Ben is here to help you with the questions. Witty Blissful, a friend has overstayed. He met a lady who is an EU national with kids. They have done a proxy marriage, and the friend does his role as a stepfather. One, what document does he need to put in, or does he need for his application? And does the lady has to prove a threshold of £29,000, else they're exposing themselves to the Home Office? Amen.
No, you don't have to prove 29,000. The documents that I will ask for is, if any of you have been married before, you should have a divorce certificate. You've got your customary marriage certificate. It should be signed by both the couple, the husband and the wife, also the witnesses. In addition, you should have a letter from the registry. It should say it's a customary law marriage. You should have a statutory declaration from a commissioner of oath, a letter from the Superior Court of Judicature, which would be the High Court usually, and you should have a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to confirm the signatures. Once you've got this, there should be evidence that you're living with the partner, the children's birth certificate, their passports if they've got British citizenship. If they don't have passports because their mother is settled or British, the children obviously are also British, but a birth certificate. If you play any role as you claim that you are a stepfather, maybe you go to the school and pick them up, you can get a school letter. I know school is on recess, so possibly you want to wait and get a GP letter may also be helpful. And a letter from your wife to confirm the roles that you play and the fact that she wants to support the application. Once that is done, you will go on what we call the Appendix EX1A, which means that you're exempt from English, you're exempt from income and most of the things. But character and the conduct Appendix SUI will come in. So the only thing that will also exempt you is overstay. Now remember that because you've overstayed, they can refuse your application because you have overstayed. So my advice to you, don't think that you've listened to Uncle Ben, so you're going to make this application yourself. These days, under Appendix SUI, if you've overstayed, although there is the passported exemption of EX1 and then A, that will cover you. B possibly will also cover you. But I will advise you to seek the support of a lawyer to represent you.
A word to the wise is always enough, and I always say that it's best for a layman to give their work for an artisan to do for them. Lawyers know what they do, and when I say lawyers, I'm talking about lawyers who are properly accredited and know what they are about, and especially if they can't show you where their offices run as fast as your legs can take you, because you'll fall into trouble. 0208-493-7345, and also in the comment section below, down in Facebook, YouTube, at BWF Solicitors. Thank you very much for your quick response. Anthony Atoroxen, thank you for staying around. You know what? if you are able to stay with us all this long, then it means you're a very important person to us, and we appreciate you. We would want you to like the page, share, and also invite others to join us as well. Patrick is asking, what should a dependent whose wife refused to add him or her to their new sponsorship do? His visa is expiring next week. He doesn't even know who the lady is.
Well, obviously, your marriage is broken down. I don't want to assume anything or suspect anything, but obviously, the marriage is broken down. Listen, there is a route out for you. It may give you a temporary reprieve, but for me, what you need to do is to pick the phone and call a lawyer. Okay, it's one of the easiest cases I've seen so far. Okay.
0208-493-7345. Yes, I'm still taking your calls. I'm still taking your questions. Uncle Ben is here, and he is helping us answer them. A friend of mine applied for indefinite leave to remain under EU settlement scheme. It's been 5 months, and she's not received any response. Where can she start chasing the Home Office, Uncle?
Well, I mean, if you say response, I mean, did they not go and take your biometric? So possibly they did their biometric. That's a response. You can always go online and check. You can send a message to them. You can call them if you want. But unfortunately for the Home Office, everything is being delayed. Everything is being delayed.
Well, patience is a virtue. Unfortunately, we would have to wait. But as Uncle Ben has advised, and if you're not too comfortable, contact your lawyer. And I recommend you contact BWF Solicitors on 0208-493-7340. They are on the 4th floor of the Anna House, North London, Tottenham High Road, 2142218. N154NP is the postcode. And if you would want to reach out to him today, he's right here. We've got some time on our hands. You can call him, and on the program, he would answer you and give you the answer to your question. The lines are active, 0208-493-7345. Nananye comes in to say, Angela has there's some interesting similarities, but I'll tell you why. Angela has a Ghanaian district court order dated the 19th of May 2026, stating that her ordinance marriage has been dissolved and that the parties are free to remarry. However, it states that the marriage was customarily dissolved on the 23rd of May 2025. I don't know what your question is. I want to assume you want to ask whether when it says it's customarily dissolved, it means that it's been properly dissolved. Maybe that's what I can decipher out of your question. I'll throw it up to you.
Well, the first thing I can tell you is that this is a fake divorce certificate. So please run away from it, okay? No judge will write this. I know that sometimes courts may make mistakes, but no judge will dissolve an ordinance marriage and on the same order. I also say that it's been customarily dissolved. Please run away from it. It's not valid. It's a fake document.
Narania, please. Nana also tells you the truth. So run away from it. Hello.
Hello. Uncle Ben, please. Mine is a little not related to today's topic, but I just want an advice.
Okay.
Coming here 2 years ago, the agent who helped me with this application paid the fee with his MasterCard. I completed school and I'm now working with a care company, and I needed to apply for my IHS. Now he tells me that his bank has blocked his bank account, so I cannot use that number again. Meanwhile, Home Office requires that I use the same number I used to pay the visa fee. What do I do?
I really can't get you properly. So you're already in the UK?
Yes, I'm already here.
And when you were coming, you came as a student?
Yes, as a student.
And somebody used their card to pay for your IHS?
Yes, for the IHS.
What are you going to do now again? What application are you making?
No, I want to apply to Home Office for refund.
Why refund?
The IHS, when you're working with the care, they do pay. Some of my friends have received theirs, they applied and they got it.
Ohima, you came here as a student.
Yes.
You paid IHS as a student.
Yes.
You're now working in the care industry.
Yes.
You want to go back and take the money that you paid for student. Hey.
The IHS.
Yes, but it's the same thing we are all talking about. You came here as a student. Healthcare workers do not pay IHS. So once you've paid IHS, I will dare you to show me one of your friends who has received money the way you're telling me. There's nothing like that. They may be lying to you. If there is, go and bring it for all of us to see. Okay? You're coming here as a student. IHS is compulsory. You've come, by God's grace, you've finished your course. You've used the IHS. So that's gone. Now you're working in the care industry and you didn't pay IHS. You want to go back to the to the immigration to say, 2 years ago I paid IHS to come here as a student. I've come, I've been a student, I've qualified. Please, can you give me that money back? Is that what we're talking about? Or maybe I misunderstood you. No.
The same. You're right.
Yeah, I think we're having a concert conversation. I can tell. Please tell them that they are lying. They should show it to you.
Okay.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. She wants to eat her cake and still have it. Well, let's pick up some more from the platforms. Thank you very much for your education. A friend is on a skilled worker route since 2023. The employer has not given them any job, but has got 20 hours in the health sector. What should be done?
What should be done is that if you're here and you want to stay here and you want to do the right thing, please, if your employer is not giving you work, run away. Okay? I have seen cases, especially this week, because we're treating the topic, where people have come to me where they are working with other people, not the person who sponsored them, because that person is not giving them work. Please, you're both in breach. Last week we said the same thing. And I don't want you to be messing up yourself, okay? So please, run away and find another sponsor. You've done almost 3 years. You've got 2 years to go. Resolve this issue so that your 2 years will take you to indefinite stay. Don't mess about and be more interested in working and not resolving your problem. If you want to find a sponsor, we've told you where to go. Adai will do this, perform the same exercise again. I think sometimes we like connection jobs too much. If you go on BWF Solicitors website and you go on the website now, www.bwfsolicitors.com. You click on it, it will take you to resources. There are not many things on there. So we've got home, we've got practice area, we've got about us, we've got resources, we've got fees, we've got contact, we've got book a consultation. Click on resources. There are only 3 items there: blog, videos, and useful links. You've clicked on useful links. It will take you to Care Visa Sponsors Database. When you click on it, it will take you outside our website. Now you're outside. All it's asking you for is for you to put in your postcode. And let's do that and see what happens. Okay, it tells us the closest one to me is 1 kilometer, which is just at the back of our building. It's called Priscilla Wakefield House, and the provider is Magic Care. They have sponsors. Tomorrow, go there. But you know what? You're not going to get it, because I know some of my clients work there, and I know that they don't have a COS. So we want to go to Scotland. Select location. We've got Edinburgh, I think. Do we have Edinburgh? Let's go to Edinburgh. You go to Edinburgh, you've got all these people there. In fact, when you go to the bottom, you've got over 14 1,000 because every page is 10. We've got 1,420 times 10. That is 14,280 potential COS providers. I keep telling you, me, when I want to do something, I'm always determined. If it's me looking for a job, I would have found it through here. Every week, every day, I will send 10 applications. I will make 10 phone calls. And then possibly I will travel to different areas. Let's go to Glasgow. It is there. If you want to be in London, you're not going to get anything. So just make sure that you go outside. And if you're researching, you can put in Google and find out. Google, where do we have a lot of old people who are using nursing homes? It should be able to give you the locality. Go there and go and speak to them. They will find you. You're a very nice person. You speak good English. You shouldn't be having problems and doing all the unlawful stuff, okay?
So remember, when you visit the BWF Solicitors website, click on resources, and you find one of the 3 resources there to show you where you can get care homes. And the link is very useful. Use that and you will benefit. Blog videos, useful links, care visa sponsorship database, and you can have access to that. 3 simple steps, and it will give you. I remember when we did that, Uncle Ben, I gave this resource to somebody, and the person says, yes, I've been searching, I've been ringing. I won't give up because there are over 14,000. I said, keep on going. It may take you a month, but keep doing it because you will find something. And the person even told me, I don't want London. London is too crowded. I said, move out. Move out and you will find it. And when you find it, definitely if you need legal support, Uncle Ben and the team will help you. Patricia, you have come in with this one. It says, I have a friend in the UK who are married couples. The wife is the main and the husband as a dependent of a skilled worker on a healthcare visa. The wife's job didn't renew her sponsorship, and they both agreed to the fee waiver to at least get some time to be able to get a new COS. Now, the wife is about moving out of the country because it's affecting her mental state and leaving the husband in the UK. My question is, how long will the Home Office get to know that the wife has moved out of the country? And can the husband apply for a new visa when she gets a COS from a different sponsor or employer?
Yes, the husband will can apply once he's gotten a new COS. And if you're still on fee waiver is not a visa. It's not leave to remain. Please try and sort yourself next week, okay? Because once they make a decision, you are almost like a gunner. There's absolutely nothing you can do apart from applying for a human rights application, which you won't qualify. So my advice to you is that people are taking shortcuts and doing all sorts of stuff. Move on and find, if you want to stay legally, then find something immediately.
Patricia, a word to the wise is always enough. So listen to that timely advice. Vivian has come back. My sponsor gave us less than 2 weeks to closing down the operation at where we were working because he's getting rehearsal, which he did and handed over the clients to the council. A month after I've received a letter from the Home Office that I've stopped working with this company, so he has no option than to withdraw his sponsorship, which is not true. So the Home Office has shortened my stay and is giving me 60 days. What should I do, Uncle Ben?
Well, I mean, if your sponsor told you that they were shutting their doors and they were closing down, they will have to report to the Home Office. And the reason why they can't sponsor you, they've given the Home Office, obviously, the reason is that they can't continue to sponsor you. But they keep telling the Home Office, and I will investigate this because I'm dealing with a lot of cases in this area. There's a lady and her husband. She's just giving birth, and she called me in similar situation where the employer said that she doesn't want to work with them, when indeed it is the sponsor who doesn't want to work with her. Vivian Tete, I mean, I'm not sure, but if you will let us know, has this business shut down? My advice to you is that you've got 60 days to do something. Please make sure you do something before the 60-day ends, okay?
Well, Vivian,
Yes, please quickly get something done as Uncle Ben has advised. Let's go on to the next one. Prince Adebajo Omotola Abolaji. For education purposes, a student that worked as HCA during the period of study can claim a refund of IHS for only the period he or she worked as HCA with minimum of 16 hours per week during the period of study. Requirements are IHS number, employment letter, pay slips for those periods. You are willing to put that through?
So what he's saying is that a student who works as healthcare assistant. Now the person who called us said she's now got a COS to work as a carer. The scenario are different, but thank you because this may help our people. So if you are a student and you're working as a healthcare assistant, Prince, he may have experience in this, says that you can get a refund for the period that you work for the healthcare as a healthcare assistant. So Prince, thank you very much. Oma Yoruba, Baoni, Ngo Baba Rewa, Emma Ki Yawo Efumi Shobo. Okay, Eshe Dada, Tori Olong, marry or later, Shobo. Okay then.
That's very impressive. Right? Well, Prince, thank you very much for staying with us, and thank you for adding to the conversation, to be fair. And as I said earlier on, in the comment section, it's a family, it's a community, it's a classroom. So some of these experiences are worth noting. So yes, well done for that. Remember, we gave you our nugget earlier on, and it was about the time that you have stayed here and the required or the permitted absences on maternity leave and approaching your 5-year skilled worker indefinite leave to remain. And we quoted from Appendix Skilled Worker SW 24.4B, Part Suitability SUI 36.1, Home Office Skilled Worker Case Worker Guidance. And it says that under Appendix Skilled Worker SW 4.4B, where an applicant is currently absent for a reason listed in Part Suitability SUI 36.1 or returned from such absence within the month before applying, the Home Office assesses the salary requirement by reference to the salary on return to work as confirmed by the sponsor. The Home Office Skilled Worker Case Worker Guidance also requires the sponsor at settlement to confirm that the applicant remains required for the foreseeable future and will receive the required salary. Remember, maternity leave should not derail your journey to indefinite leave to remain. Reduced maternity pay does not automatically mean you fail the skilled worker salary requirement. And then after that, we had that discussion on the rights you have, especially when immigration officers and the police come in to do searches at your property. Remember, Uncle Ben said something is an English proverb, and it says, every person has their home as their castle. Enjoy it. Make sure it is not encroached upon unnecessarily and illegally. If you are not a qualified person where the search warrant says that you have committed those offenses and some criminal offenses, when they come in, insist on your right and then make sure you are safe. With that, I take one very quick break, and when we come back in a minute, Uncle Ben will do a summary of what he has taken us through. Then we'll draw the curtains down. It's still the community and the law, brought to you by BWF Solicitors. Welcome back. Thank you very much. And as I said, after the break, we're going to ask Uncle Ben to help us wind up and we'll draw the curtains down. So over to you, Uncle Ben. What have you taken us through this afternoon?
Well, so what I've taken all of us through is that, first of all, if you're not a relevant person, which is that you're not here, you didn't come on the boat, you were not facing deportation and come back. Once you're here legally, like our friend, immigration cannot just turn up and then ask you to open your door for them to come in. They need to provide you with the identification, explain why they're there, and also provide you with a warrant. You don't have to allow them to have access to your phone because they don't have a right to have access to your phone unless there are specific criminal offense that is related to the phone or the device. And if you make the mistake in giving them your phone, you don't have to give them your PIN. You have no duty to give anybody the PIN to your phone. And if you make a mistake and give them a PIN to your phone, you don't also have to open your banking app for them to go and check what income you've been receiving. It's got absolutely nothing to do with them. My advice to everyone is that if you've got immigration at your door, the first thing to do is to ask them to identify themselves, identify the reason they are there, and provide you with evidence of why they think that they've got a power to come to your house. That everybody should be able to do. I hope this is helpful. Obviously, if there are other matters that you wish to discuss with us, Kweku will provide you with the details, and hopefully we'll see you all again next week.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ben. Now, the community, listen, join me in saying thank you to BWF solicitors and specifically to Uncle Ben for their generosity. In fact, the capacity they provide us is immeasurable and so valuable. So go on Google, give them the feedback and the reviews, so to speak, and allow people to also enjoy what it is that you have also enjoyed. BWF solicitors, they work Monday to Friday between 9:30 and 6 p.m. 9:30 in the morning and 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, as I said. They are on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters in North London. Call them, book an appointment, and see the very knowledgeable lawyers on 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884 077 127 61884. BWF solicitors. Listen, they give you the education. Joseph, thank you. And thank you to Uncle Ben as well. Thank you for thanking him. They give you education 3 times in the week, Thursdays,